Welcome back to Global Bike Buzz, where we bring you the latest and greatest from the world of motorcycles. Today, we're diving into a detailed review of a true legend that's returned with subtle refinement and sheer road presence at the 2025 Kawasaki Vulcan 1500. If you're a cruiser fan or just love a bike that blends muscle, comfort, and timeless style, stay tuned because this machine has a lot to say. The first impression of the Vulcan 1500 is undeniable. Park it anywhere and eyes are drawn to it. From the front, the bike presents a bold, almost menacing presence. A redesigned headlamp unit still retains the classic round look but now integrates LED technology that improves visibility without sacrificing that nostalgic cruiser vibe. The wide, sculpted fenders sit proudly above chunky 16-inch front tires, giving the bike a confident stance on the road. Chrome accents surround the forks and light cluster finish off the front's aesthetic with a clean but commanding appeal. Moving to the side, the lines are smooth, flowing effortlessly from the wide fuel tank down through the low-slung seat and out toward the rear fender. The 5.3-gallon tank is not just functional but contributes to the Vulcan's muscular look, with the Kawasaki emblem subtly integrated without being overbearing. The seat is plush and wide, with a more refined contour for 2025 that improves long-distance comfort for both rider and passenger. The exhaust pipes, a now slightly thicker A, run along the side in a dual-stacked configuration, coated in deep chrome and giving off that low, throaty growl the Vulcan is known for. From the rear, the design keeps things traditional but polished. The large rear fender hugs the tire closely, and the tail light cluster has been updated with a sleeker LED unit that's brighter and more durable. Twin rear shocks with adjustable preload offer a good balance between vintage aesthetics and modern ride adaptability. The turn signals remain slightly extended, contributing to the cruiser silhouette without appearing outdated. The bike looks just as impressive rolling away as it does when it pulls up. Underneath all that chrome and steel is the real heartbeat of the Vulcan F1470cc V-twin engine that defines what this bike is all about. Liquid-cooled and fuel-injected, it produces a generous amount of torque right where it matters. Down low, you won't find screaming high-end power here. Instead, it delivers a smooth, relentless pull through the mid-range, making highway cruising effortless and city riding equally enjoyable. Kawasaki has tuned the engine mapping slightly for 2025 to improve throttle response and reduce emissions without losing that raw feel the Vulcan is loved for. When it comes to performance, the Vulcan 1500 doesn't pretend to be a sport bike. It's a cruiser in the purest sense. That means steady, confident acceleration, a smooth 5-speed gearbox that's geared for real-world riding, and a clutch that feels weighty yet predictable. The ride is stable and planted, thanks to the long wheelbase and low center of gravity. It feels more like a road warrior than a nimble street dodger, exactly what cruiser riders are looking for. Kawasaki has kept the suspension soft enough for comfort but not so loose that it wallows in turns. It handles sweepers with grace and straight-line cruising with rock-solid composure. Braking is handled by single-disc setups front and rear with ABS now standard, providing predictable stopping power without overwhelming bite. What's also appreciated is how Kawasaki has managed to include subtle modern conveniences without spoiling the classic cruiser experience. You get a digital analog hybrid instrument cluster, gear position indicator, and optional USB charging port, all subtly integrated into the bike's design. Nothing feels tacked on, everything fits. As for pricing, the 2025 Kawasaki Vulcan 1500 sits comfortably in the middle of the heavyweight cruiser segment, starting at around $11,999. It's competitive without being inaccessible. There are a few trim options, including a blacked-out dark classic edition that deletes most of the chrome and a touring package that adds saddlebags, a backrest, and a larger windscreen for about $1,200 more. Considering the build quality, the refinement, and the sheer presence of this bike, it's a solid value proposition for riders who want a no-nonsense cruiser with attitude. In summary, the 2025 Vulcan 1500 doesn't try to reinvent itself, and that's a good thing. Kawasaki knows what this bike represents: torque, comfort, presence, and reliability. It feels familiar but fresh, classic but not outdated. It's for the rider who doesn't need to race anyone, but still wants to own the road in their own powerful, unhurried way. Thanks for watching this in-depth review here on Global Bike Buzz. If you enjoyed this breakdown of the new Vulcan 1500, don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap the bell for more honest and passionate reviews from the world of motorcycling.